here, 3v3, Angel Gate, blue team. We've got Noisy as an Inquisitor, offensive commander. Lots of great control abilities, begins in melee combat, but can get ranged weapons, a little bit of support too. Alongside, Marutectz is a very angry Warboss, a melee commander that can walk through objects. Some awesome disruption, support and offense from the Orky front lines. This is the Freebooters DLC, and now he's chasing down the Warps with Exarch, who's going to be annoying. Of course he is. Rounding off the blue team is Zevargel's Force Commander. Very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. This is the Blood Angels elite scheme. At the bottom there, he's fighting DarkHero as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander. Lots of great manipulation and control abilities, and powerful offense too. Fights by default in melee combat. This is the Word Bearers DLC, recolor black. Yes it is, looks pretty cool. I'm far too lazy to recolor DLC schemes these days. The Warps of Exarch, who's still in the garrison here being annoying, played by Fear, teleporting commander that fights range combat, really good at capping and harassing, as you see here, with some awesome control abilities too. And rounding off the red team is Hunter at the top as a Techmarine, starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair, wade into melee combat too, and is seeing off that Inquisitor. Noisy going for a Sentinel after double guardsman. They're still trying to get this Warps with Exarch out of this garrison. He's not firing anymore for some reason. What's going on here? Just going to get out, teleport away. There we go. Here come Howling Banshees. Warboss going to need to be ready with his Stomp, which is a pretty damn good starting ability. He's trying to line it up now. Nicely positioned by Marutectz, and he pulls it off pretty well. But the shooters, I think, yeah, still going to be forced off. The Warboss now needs to be careful. He's getting Anger Bits, which will help him charge away. That was a special attack. How did you get a special attack on Banshees when they weren't moving? Oh, screws up the charge, ran into object, and is going to go down and retreat. Need to be so careful with your charges in this game. Anything that the unit can't crush is going to just stop them in their tracks. He ran into that wall, and Marutectz is not happy. Blue team, thanks to Noisy, are taking the top. Are we going to see that Holy Brazier? Every time you see him using an Inquisitor, she gets the Holy Brazier. Has Rosarius right now, and is reviving the Warboss. Going to give him a bunch of XP, but not enough to level up to 2. What's going on bottom? Assault Marines on the way for Zevargel. You have double Heretics, one with Grey Launchers, and the other default, most likely going to get an aspiring champion on these guys. Doom Blasting Heretics, pretty important against a Force Commander early on. He can Doom Blast and just leave, so he's suppressed and stuff, and then you can shoot him down. So maybe Shotgun Scouts at that point, if we do see them. It's strange to see Scouts without their capes on. Turret up at the top for Hunter, easily flanked around in this kind of direction. I say easily, much easier when there's not two armies loitering. But it's going to be a big shooting match, I think. 2v2 Orks and Imperial Guard versus Eldar and Space Marines. You have double Tactical Marines, double Dire Avengers, the Techmarine and Warp Spider themselves, and a Shuriken. It's a hell of a lot of shooty stuff. Sluggers forced to retreat. They know for sure that the turret is there now. Still no sign of that Holy Brazier. Really good piece of wargear. 450 to 475. Double shooters for Marutectz. Spotters on the way for Noisy. And nothing else for Hunter. I guess he's going to get a beacon up, maybe around here, or rather away from the stairs, maybe around here. At the moment, blue team might just decide to kind of wait until tier 2. Because if that beacon comes up, it could be tough to hit that with a Shuriken, a turret and a beacon. And 2 armies. They might just kind of make sure they don't lose their power at all. And then get tier 2 stuff up like Death Dreads and Bane Wolves and stuff. The Warboss does get away safely. Doom Bolts flying in, but double shooters tanking the damage. Losing models though to that Warps for Exarch. Those dual Death Spinners explode units. Just give them outright, which is pretty cool. Some Tzeentch worship. Assault Marines on the field for Zevargel. Death Company. That black attire looks pretty cool. Same kind of treatment that the Apothecary gets. But no Apothecary here. We have that Force Commander. So the keen-eyed among you might have noticed that there's no rain in this cast. Usually Angel Gate has a whole bunch of rain. I've decided to turn it off for this video. That's because YouTube compression really struggles with it. All of that rain detail, since there's so much of it, it tries to preserve the movement and the rain itself, which causes blocky artifacts elsewhere in the video at the expense of other things. So for the interest of video quality, the rain has been turned off for Angel Gates, probably from now on, since YouTube only has about 8 kilobits per second or so to work with on a 1080p video, so that people can stream it easily, obviously. And some things get sacrificed if you have tons and tons of detail on the screen, i.e. loads of rain. This Techmarine is going to go down. He needs to deactivate the beacon so he can run away there, but did not. That's a smoke shell, I think. Nope. Regular shell, knocking stuff all over the gaff. This shuriken needs to move up and help. Not doing anything down there. Fear must be looking at something else. What is he doing? He's getting his natural VP back. 374 to 475. Beacon might just be shot down by sentinels. Oh, here comes the shuriken. Oh, there's the Holy Pyre. Holy Brazier is up 50 DPS power melee with the Holy Pyre, which is a fantastic ability. It scales pretty well as well. Even though the damage is not a lot, that debuff scales all day long. 20% less damage in that area for that long. Stormboys on the field for Marutectz. You know an Orc is angry when they get Stormboys on the field. Raptors on the field for DarkHero. Jump troops with 30 DPS melee weapons. They can also suppress when they land on you, unlike Assault Marines, who disrupt when they land on you, have more health but do less damage in melee. Doom bolts missing. This might be an ill-advised decap by Marutectz here, and these are upgraded shooters. He needs to run them away. Oh, that's a Doom blast. They're going to go down, I think. Yeah, those are aspiring champion heretics and raptors hitting them on retreat, and a sync kill from the sorcerer. Marutectz needs to go tier 2. There we go. Straight into a death dread, I would think, to try and burn down these structures over here. Red team are not pushing at all against the power. That's a big mistake. I think they forced pretty much everything off the field and did nothing. Double tax getting that health regen aura off the beacon there. Everyone going tier 2 apart from Zevargel, who does have Devastators, who has that 1-1-1 build going for him, which can be incredibly powerful if you use it well. These Devastators going for the garrison, yes they are. So you want to fight now away from the garrison. Try and keep that Force Commander isolated. Doom blast him. He's not Doom blasting though, he's moving his heretics off. That battle cry is so annoying, even with his default weapon, which is what he has now. Does eventually persuade him to leave. But these generators are all blue now. Nicely done by Zevargel. Used his Force Commander well, and he wasn't Doom blasted, so he just kept running away from him. Might be time to abandon the bottom, Mr. DarkHero, because that Devastator is going to make it very difficult for you to do anything. Maybe you can get some grenade launcher shots off, but then the Assault Marines can jump your grenade launcher heretic, so I think it's better to come, maybe harass this VP. Even if it's just with your Sorcerer, get Vestments of the Warp and teleport up there. Uh-oh, Raptors have their aspiring champion. This guy is pretty damn awesome. Power Fist with heavy melee and a Melter Pistol, all for the low price of 80 rec, 25 power. Also gives you that demonic strength thing. I always forget the name of that. I'm just going to call it demonic strength. We just saw him use that. He's going to fight the Force Commander. Nope, he's going to fight a garrison. I think just turn around and hit the Force Commander fella. Or just retreat out. Trying to get these power points back, obviously, but I think it's better to go after that natural BP for a little while. Make Zevargel switch positions, and then he can send some stuff sneakily to bash that power at the bottom and retake it. Beacon and turret is still up, but for how long? We have a Chimera. We have a Weird Boy for Marutectz, a good choice. Although Death Dread would have dealt with the structures earlier, but here comes Sluggers with Swampum and Ard Boys. That's one of the global buffs from the Warboss to give them 25% damage resistance to all damage, which I imagine has to stack with Swampum. Uh-oh. Plasma Cannon's getting caught. Big chunks of health coming off these guys. These guys now have a 20% melee resistance, not a 40% in 2.5. Sluggers could not finish them off. Oh, Hell Fury strike from the Global Bar on double tactical Marines in a garrison. They both have missile launchers. That is very expensive. It's like 80 power for 2 missile launchers for a single Chimera. Maybe overkill. We don't have a Bright Lance though. We do have Exarch with her spear, heavy melee spear, but blue team have pushed through pretty well. They got to tier 2 in a bit of a better shape and got the heavy hitters out earlier, namely the Chimera and Weird Boy. Red team instead concentrated on upgrading stuff, and they got a plasma cannon out, down to 2 models, but that doesn't matter too much. Blue team trying to decap here, 240 to 475. Death Dread now in the way for Marutectz, and a Manticore for Noisy. That could be very, very nasty. Storm Boys do have their knob leader though. Are we going to see missile launchers for these Sentinels? We don't even see their ground pound in fact right now. Storm Boys jumping in, happy to fight the Banshees with their Ard Boys up, but now retreating through them. Ouch. Did they lose a model? They did lose 1 model. 2-to-1 cap now for blue team. That is marked target on the Chimera from Signum Armor. Now taking, I believe it's 30% more damage? Oh, 40%, there we go. Used to be 50, which was nuts. Down goes Inquisitor though. Level 4, she's done well. Blue team continue to push through. Chimera needs some repairs, but oh, he only has 1 guardsman left. They can get out and start repairing, there we go. And Inquisitor can be revived by the Warboss. That's going to level him to 2. Has Cyborg implants. They have a lot of stuns, don't they? This Orky army right now. They have the Weird Boy Vomit, the Storm Boy Jump, and now Cyborg implants with that big stomp. Dreadnought on the field for Zevargel with a Assault Cannon loaded in and ready to go. There we go. Does it tell me the damage of this thing? It must tell me. 55 DPS piercing. Holy crap. Painful. Single target DPS all day long. Heretics getting close to level 2. Kept his Assault Marines without their Sergeant for now because he wanted to get that Dreadnought up quickly. We have DarkHero going to tier 3. Terminator is fantastic on Angel Gate because it's a relatively short amount of time to get from the middle back to your base, so you can be relatively aggressive with them as long as you don't go too far away from the middle. Same deal with the Avatar and the Great Unclean One, also a great map for them for the same reasons. They can quickly, relatively quickly in a way, get back to base and heal up between 2 bases as well. Tier 3 for Fear. So it looks like we're going to have a tier 3 versus tier 2 fight for a little bit. If those 2 tier 3 players can get something on the field, that is. Red team are pinned back right now. Blue team keeping up the pressure pretty well. Death Dread getting burners and bits and is backing away for repairs. Chimera keeping the pressure up even with double missile launchers. Now Chimera right in the front of the field there. Another holy pyre going off. Where's the cooldown on that thing? Doesn't tell me. Will tell you on the ability itself. Oh, subjugated sluggers. Still level 1. Uh-oh. There is the terrifying Thunderhammer. Was nerfed in 2.5. Now only tracks up to a radius of 12, but still pretty damn amazing. By tracking, I mean, I'm talking about this special attack when he uses Battle Cry. He used to track infinitely, which was pretty annoying to fight against. Artificer armor on the way. Death Dread now getting some attacks off. Eldar really bunched up in a bad position. Not sure why he got so close there. Had space to maneuver, I think. Double cap here for blue team. Red team really in disarray. Need something on the field, but we've got DarkHero getting Plague Marines out. Some late game Plague Marines. They do have a bunch of vehicles to kill though, so that's pretty much justified, I think. Storm Boy is looking very mean, almost finishing off that Warps for the Exarch and the Warboss now with his 95 heavy melee power claw DPS, that is pretty nuts. Chimera is still sitting pretty. Does he have the mobile base? Nope. Oh, somebody just got shot down as a Techmarine. Red team really struggling to contain the blue team here. What's going on bottom? Kicking off. Sorcerer subjugating some scouts of all things. He probably did that so that they can't repair this Dreadnought. He's taken them all the way back into enemy territory. They're getting Doom Blast. They're going to go down. I don't think Zevargel quite realised what was going on with his scouts there. Plague Marines get away with 2 models after exploding into green crap. Warboss runs away. And yeah, red team really struggling to push back here. This power's completely decapped. Triple here for blue. Plasma cannon on the way for Hunter. Banshee's doing some work though. Can they finish off these tactical marines? Yes, they can. With the help of those heretics in retreat path there. So, blue team are losing something. Oh, holy crap, there's a good Manticore strike. That first rocket was nuts. Almost wiped out 2 Dire Avengers. Stormboys jumping in onto the Plague Marines here. Which will explode in their face and damage them and knock them back if they lose a model. You see that red debuff circle? Ouch, that was nasty. That's because Plague Marines passively reduce the speed of nearby enemies, which is pretty cool for them. 2-1 now. Can red team do anything though? You have Stormtroopers sneaking around at the top for Noisy. He's just sitting here waiting. Red team in disarray. Double missile launchers. I'm surprised how little impact they've had against the Chimera. They've really been shut down by the Holy Pie and also the spotters when they were still around. I mean, if you take 20% of the damage off of those missile shots, that's a pretty sizable amount on a big burst weapon like a missile launcher, obviously. There's that Holy Pyre again. We can't actually see the main effect of it. We can see the secondary effects on the units themselves. Oh, Eldritch taking out the Chimera. That was a Hell Fury dropped in, and the Excruciator, as you saw there with the sail. So Chimera is down. Noisy's all of a sudden down to just 2 units, a Manticore and Stormtroopers. Can the red team push back here? Not right now, that's for sure.
They have 100 points, sir.
Holy Pyre was still going off, even though we couldn't see the main graphic of it. Dreadnought doing a huge amount of work for Zevargel. Where are the Havocs? Where's the las cannon? Put them in a garrison and they can't be jumped. Grenade. Grenades now do slightly more damage to vehicles than they did before in 2.5, which is pretty cool. Fear calling for VPs. Avatar on the way. I mean, red team got to tier 3 in good time, but they couldn't really get anything out. More Stormtroopers for Noisy, who is also into tier 3. Just purchased something, yeah. Called in some more Stormtroopers. Has triple Stormtroopers and getting assault kit on all of them. Long range shooty action. Warp Vomit on the Banshees. And now here comes a really angry Warboss. Is level 3. And it has the big stomp. There it is. Boom. Maybe could have got in amongst a bit more units there before he did it. But it's now squishing Banshees with that power claw. That's pretty nuts. Needs to be careful though. Might want to charge away. Nope, just going to retreat out. I don't think he had the energy to use. Now I'm angry there. Uh-oh. Sorcerer goes down. Raptors trying to cap. They have melter guns, which will help against that Dreadnought. Not seen them actually shoot at it though. D-cannon on the way for Fear. 240 to 19. Red team are taking the contested VP though. Can they hold on to the 19 VPs that they have? Might be time to switch off of your missiles there, Hunter. Because you have triple Stormtroopers and assault kits to deal with. They're going to easily outshoot those tactical marines from range. Here comes an Avatar though, and the Force Commander goes down. The red team have a shot here. With that Avatar around, I think they do. Certainly. Oh, mark target on Inquisitor, who is taking out tactical marines. Now switches to the other squad. Plasma gun in effect here, which got a cost decrease in 2.5, I believe. 5 power less, down to 30, I believe. Can they get rid of this Inquisitor? With Rosarius, she is tanking damage. That's an orbital from, I guess, Hunter, yeah. Wow, exploded those sluggers. They were sluggers and they are gone. 222-19. Red team are not out of this yet. They're even putting pressure on blue team's natural. They've decapped it, in fact. An orbital there from Zevargel. Avatar is going to be a huge benefit to red team as they try and push through this middle here. And as I said before, it's a great map for these guys. That's not a long travel back to your base there. You can be very aggressive with your big, fat, super heavy infantry super units. Nob squad though, using their frenzy. There is a Wailing Doom, although it doesn't damage them at all because of frenzy. They need some help, those knobs, I think. Maybe it's the Avatar that needs help. Those knobs are chasing him down. Yes, it is the Avatar that needs help. There's a lot of blue stuff here, including Vengeance Rounds, Devastators. Bit of damage that the Avatar's taking. That is a Singularity, nicely done. Force Corner teleports onto the D-cannon though. Does get away. Killed 3 scouts. Those are some late game scouts purchased by Zevargel. Nob squad with Ard boys up on them. 180 to 19. 2-to-1 cap for red team. Can they hold on here? Take back your wreck point, please, Hunter. He's got a turret up. Lehman Russ on the way though for Noisy. What else we got? Land Raider Phobos for DarkHero. Avatar needs to get back to base and heal up. Get between 2 bases will heal up twice as fast. Try and keep that pressure up, red team. Try and keep the pressure up on this, or blue team just all go top and retake. Doesn't want to retake the wreck point. Predator tank at the top there for Hunter. Uh-oh, Stormboy's jumping onto the rear armor, and that's a Power Claw Warboss. Can be really tricky for tanks to path around all these buildings and stuff at the top of this map. We'll see how they do. That's marked target on the Stormboys, but I think this tank is done for. Yep. That knob leader with that heavy melee chain axe thing. Yep, chain axe it is. Took it down. All kicking off here. The Weird Boy goes down. Blue team looking pretty thin right now, actually. I mean, Noisy's recovered with a bunch of Stormtroopers and a Lehman Russ, but now Marutectz and Zevargel need to recover, and it's pretty late game. Zevargel does have tons of resources. It looks like he's waiting for the red for Terminators. I can't see any other reason why he wouldn't get the Land Raider Redeemer up. He just lost something else. Force Commander trying to put pressure on his VP, but it's ill-advised, I think, with the amount of stuff that's there. Does get away with 11 hit points thereabouts. The Phobos to now defend that VP. 119 to 19. Red team in the ascendancy big time. It's now their game to lose. Whirlwind on the way for Hunter. And that's going to be great for stopping the caps and sending these Stormtroopers flying all over the place. Plague Marines exploding. Need to run away. DarkHero. There we go. They might go down on retreat though. Nope. Saved by the explosion, I think. Unless the Stormboys can catch them. Might jump after them. Raptors jumping in after the Lehman Russ. There's the Melter Bomb. Nicely done. It's a dead Lehman Russ. Yeah, tanks really have a tough time on this map. There's 2 of them down pretty quickly. Raptors are not going to make it out of there though. Or are they? Really? Holy crap, they made it out. Just under 20 hit points. That was incredibly lucky. Phobos, with all of this other stuff, was enough to dissuade them knobs from pushing. We have Marco Tzeentch CSM also. What's going on top though? The Avatar drawing a hell of a lot of fire. I mean, these Stormtroopers do a lot of damage, but it's all piercing damage, so not ideal for shooting down an Avatar. 76-19. Red team are holding on here. And looking very strong. More than holding on. Zevargel needs to buy something. What is he up to? Almost 1500 rec, almost 400 power. He's really screwed up his team here by not purchasing something. Land Raider Redeemer would have been great, I think. Although you are up against an enemy Eldar, so Eldritch Storms are a thing. Double D-cannons now for fear. Get something though. Looters with a beamy. Trying to defend against this Avatar. Now blue team have the 2-to-1. 75 to 8. We have CSM decapping. They're just going to decap in time, I think. Yes. That wreck point is still blue. It's really annoying me. Come and cap this, fellas. 74 to 4. I guess it's not important right now. Down to 4 VPs. And they are capping red team's natural. But these heretics are going to whack. Yes, they are. That was the aspiring champion going down at the end there. This Phobos getting way into enemy territory, is now warped out on a really nice nuke by DarkHero too. That was the warp global ability from the Sorcerer, if you were wondering. Teleports an allied unit back to the Sorcerer. You can use it to save allied stuff. Here are some Assault Terminators, and they instantly go down from Zevargel. Not sure what he was trying to do there. Well, obviously he was trying to decap this VP, but there was so much stuff. Just keep them back here. You have the VP advantage. Go for the contested. Rocks. All kicking off late game. That's a rocket run in there as well. Did they kill something? I think they took out some tactical marines of Hunter. Or did they? No, they got away. Eldritch now. How many nukes? Seen 4 nukes in about 2 minutes. 32-4. It's a 1-to-1 cap. Very, very tense ending. Red team have the army advantage, but can they turn it into capped points? Looks like they're going after blue team's natural. This could be it right here. If they get a triple cap, I don't think blue team can get back into this. Another tank from Hunter. Warboss getting repairs very, very slowly. Raptors have done really well, up to level 4 now. Buying their aspiring champion, which will just give them another melter gun model. Orks trying to get out of base and do something, but it's a triple cap here for red team, and they are going to see this game. They held on incredibly well and fought back. It all started with the Eldritch Storm up here, which took out that Chimera and a bunch of other stuff, I think. Noisy started to recover, but then Marutectz and Zevargel lost some stuff, and they seemed to take a while to recover. I mean, Marutectz had Knob Squad, but Zevargel took an age to purchase everything. I mean, look how much resources he ended the game with. That's crazy. Why would you not get a Land Red Redeemer up while you're waiting for the red for Terminators? Or something. I mean, could have got some more tax with some Librarian up ready to support the Terminators, but he just got Assault Terminators on and kind of threw them into death here. It's not like they were incredibly desperate at that point. They still had 70 VPs or so. But there you have it. Let's look at the heroes enter the game. Inquisitor was level 9. Looks like she had her Inferno Pistol by the looks of her Decorator. Warboss level 6 with that Power Claw. Level 5 Force Commander. Level 4 Techmarine Plasma Gun, Signum. Refractor. Level 10 Warp Spider Exarch. What was this guy up to? Heavy Gauge Death Spinner. Enhanced Warp Jump Generator and Improved Targets. Was doing a lot of damage then. Sorcerer with Rod of Warp Fire. And Tome of Subjugation was level 5. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.